Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Officer Daz.
Officer Aidan.
Here we go. Do you know what this is? The game the NFL wants you to forget.
I don't know what this is now.
It's one or two games I can think of. I think it's the one. I think I've seen this.
Wasn't there like a Super Bowl where there was like no touchdowns and...
No. I think it's to do with... Remember the Cleveland Browns when they scored?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't score, sorry.
Right.
They did something and then they went on to spike the ball pretty quick. And you can't, once they spiked it, you can't go back to the play before.
Something happened in the play. The ref got it wrong.
Yeah, the ref. What happened? They got it. They went on the play. Something happened on the play. They lined up. He spiked it, and then they went back to the previous play, and then given an overruling on the previous play, which you're not allowed to do. Which means I think I want to say it's the Cleveland Browns.
I do remember what you're talking about. We have seen that before,
is.
but I don't remember if it was Cleveland or not.
No, I didn't see what I didn't go into it to see what it was. I just saw this, and for some reason that sounds familiar to me.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about the 10-cent game as well, beer game, but I think that might have been baseball.
Yeah.
The 10-cent beer.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is the one with the Cleveland Browns. Let's see. Because I know we talked about it when it first happened and you didn't get a grasp of it. So
yeah.
The game the NFL wants you to forget. Don't forget to like and subscribe, by the way.
Thank you.
This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make it with Squarespace.
And it's getting ugly here in Cleveland.
The fans got to stop throwing crap. We just saw a guy get hit in the head and he's down, split his head wide open. The fans have got to control themselves. People are getting hurt.
December 16th, 2001 marks a day that the NFL wants you to forget. It was a complete and utter catastrophe. A day where NFL officiating was a total disaster and showed how scary and disgraceful an angry mass of sports fans can be. But first, let me take you back a few years to really put this into context.
Coming up next on SportsCenter, artwork.
The Browns are indeed coming to Baltimore.
The Browns make a run for Baltimore, leaving no joy behind in Cleveland.
In 1995, Cleveland Browns owner Art Modell had become public enemy #1. After he decided to move the Browns to Baltimore after that season, to say that Browns fans were upset would be a massive understatement. The NFL was created in Canton, Ohio, which is now home to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's only an hour away from Cleveland. Taking away the Browns would be like if the MLB allowed the Yankees to be relocated. Fans begged and pleaded for the NFL to give their franchise back, and after 3 seasons without a football team, Cleveland got their wish. Only 1 season after they got them back, their former team had already won a Super Bowl. After their first 2 seasons ended in disappointing fashion, they had finally gained some momentum in 2001. Throughout the first 12 games, the Browns had fought to a respectable 6-6 record. Matched up at home versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, this was a must-win if the Browns wanted a shot at the playoffs.
White lines up as the single setback.
With a minute left, the Browns down by 5. They need to score a touchdown. But more importantly, they have to get a first down now. It's 4th and 2. If they don't convert here, it's the ball game.
Pumping, looks backside underneath. It's caught. Morgan with the catch at the 10. And he did a tremendous job to hang on to the football. Gets the first down, clock still running.
Now just spike the ball. Don't even waste the play. Or maybe they're even calling a play.
And he spikes it. And the clock stops with 48 seconds remaining.
And I'm just wondering if that was going to be one of those fake spikes.
I thought he was going to do that. It looked like.
Now, here's the dilemma. Jaguars coach Tom Coughlin is begging for an intentional grounding, which was true. You can't fake a spike and then spike it. This should be a penalty and a loss of down. The announcers are in agreement. This looks like this will be the call on the field. Even though it'll hurt the Browns, they still have a chance to win the game.
So this is what we've been told. That the replay officials on the previous play, the 4th down play, they tried to buzz the referees on the field, and they wanted the ref to take a look at where the ball was on the Quincy Morgan reception to review it.
Replay buzz prior to the snap. We'll be looking to see if the last pass was incomplete or complete.
That's the 4th down reception by Quincy Morgan.
Whoa, wait, that's not how replay works. Everybody knows that you are not allowed to replay something that happened 2 plays ago. That's one of the most basic rules of the entire replay system. Time was now going by. There was no words from the refs. No one knew what was going on. Players were confused, coaches were confused, the fans...
Did he not hold on to that anyway?
He did, but they were saying they needed a first down, and they reckoned that he was close to where the first down was, so what they wanted to do, they wanted to make sure, they wanted to check that he'd reached first down, he'd gone past the marker.
It looked like 2 yards, that, didn't it?
But I'm not sure where the line was, I'm not
Yeah.
sure where the chain was on that, so it was like where the marker was, but I know when he panned across, it looked like he was past the marker, when he panned across the, when he got up, so I think it looked like he walked past the marker, so he wasn't far away. I think they wanted to sort of like find out exactly where he was, and if he didn't, it would have been the game over then, because they would just took a knee, and that's it, game over.
Yeah.
Don't know.
fans obviously had no idea what was going on, but worst of all, the refs didn't know either.
Which I've never seen happen in this.
After review, the pass is incomplete. First down, Jacksonville.
Incomplete.
So they say he was juggling the ball. And what Butch Davis is saying right now is we ran another play. And like I said, in the history of replay, Gus, once another play has been run, I have never seen them go back and say we're replaying another play.
This left everyone on the Browns sideline pissed, but there was a much bigger problem that had begun taking place. Following the game, one of the side referees came out and said, quote, "It was scary to the extent that we didn't know if we were going to get hit by bottles or if the fans were going to charge the field." Eric Westmoreland, a member of the Jaguars team, was quoted saying, "They were throwing bottles from behind our bench, so we migrated towards the 50-yard line." With the mob mentality, this crowd of angry fans was capable of anything. One thing was for sure, those refs weren't getting off this field very easy. With no signs of this crowd slowing down, and the players, coaches, and refs just trying to stay as far away as possible, with time still left on the clock, out of desperation, this is what happened.
And now they're going to call
That
the
is the
game.
end of the game.
Unbelievable. Now they call the game.
Well, that was
with
the right
48
call.
seconds to go.
Yeah, you got to take.
I think this has been just a fiasco by the referees today.
The fans have got to control themselves. People are getting hurt. It's ridiculous. You're only hurting yourself by throwing stuff on the field.
And the officials are pummeled as they head into the locker room, and Butch Davis is speechless. He doesn't know what to say or what to do.
So now, here's the scenario. The refs, players, and coaches had all exited the field and were in their respective locker rooms, many of whom were scared of getting hurt, and at least now they could breathe a little. Oh wait, the league office just called. They're making the teams and the referees go back on the field and finish the game. It had been 20 minutes, and now they're being forced to go back out there and have the Jags take a knee to officially end it. A member of the Browns years later said, quote, "Guys were undressed. Butch had already talked to the team." The Jaguars player from earlier was also quoted saying, "This was a big uproar because the coaches were like, hey, they're still throwing bottles. We don't want the players to go back out there." The league didn't care, clearly. And here's another twist. Some fans believed that they all came back on the field because they were going to reverse the call. The head of Cleveland's protective services came out and said, when they restarted the game, "I think that some fans believed that the referees reversed the decision as far as the play with the receiver. The fans thought that was a football decision. This wasn't the case. Both teams gathered 11 random players to go back out there, just for this. This was a complete and utter embarrassment. From the referees, to the Browns fans in the stadium who threw beer bottles and other items, to the league office for forcing these players and refs to go back out there, and lastly, to the Browns owner Al Lerner and President Carmen Policy for making these comments."
As I said, I'm not criticizing our fans at all.
Why not?
Because I don't think it's appropriate today.
It wasn't pleasant. I wouldn't suggest anything like that.
I think he was the maybe it was his son, Randy Lerner, who was the owner of that family was the owner of Aston Villa.
Oh, really?
But it wasn't World War III. I don't see any terrible criticism that would be called for the fans. I think everybody controlled themselves, considering that they spent 60 minutes out in some pretty bad weather, getting bounced around pretty hard.
Depending upon how it's depicted, people will understand no one got hurt.
Something very weird happened, so fine, we didn't have the most stable people in the world sitting in the stands, people reacted. But it wasn't World War III.
The fans got to stop throwing crap. We just saw a guy get hit in the head and he's down, split his head wide open.
So I gotta ask you a question. Have you wanted to create a website to promote your work, but like me, you can't?
I'd like to know, did anything come of that in the end? Like, I was just forgotten about, well, not forgotten about, but just
They're still trying to make us do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you're reminding them about the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just to try to forget about it. Yeah. But it was, I'd be fuming. I mean, it's just these small calls that have gone against us in when we go to the match, and I'm sat there thinking, this is fixed. How can someone get away with such a bad decision? And then I'd just be curious to what happened to the referees afterwards. Did they get
fired? As they should. It annoys me how they don't get fired when they make bad decisions.
Time after time as well. But that's probably one of the worst decisions ever.
Yeah, they literally brought in their own rule.
Yeah. Because Tom Coughlin on the side was giving it like he called what he thought he should. It's too late, so you can't do it. They played the game.
Yeah,
they played the next play. But yeah, it's
that was insane.
I feel bad for the Browns for that, to be honest. Was the Browns owner that Modell who was the Browns owner? Is that Modell's Sporting Goods? No, Modell's. I wonder if it's the same owner. Let me know in that as well. So that used to be a big sporting shop in the USA, Modell's. I wonder if when he moved from the Browns, if there was a Modell's Sporting Goods shop in Cleveland still.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't go down well, would it?
Maybe, yeah.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers.